Hello, my name is Dee Head, and I'm the pastoral counselor and a professional mental health counselor here at Radiant. I want to talk to you today about what to do when fear takes over. This is called catastrophizing and is very common in times of crisis. Each day we're waking up to a different world. During this crisis, everything seems up or down or the opposite of everything that we've ever known. Some of us feel confused, frustrated, scattered, or anxious. Most, I would venture to guess, feel all the above and much more. I want to just help you understand that this new temporary normal, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be fearful and have some anxiety. You may be feeling tired, exhausted physically, spiritually, and emotionally. A crisis usually causes an adrenaline to flow in our brain, but it's only for a short time. This crisis, however, causes us to settle into a long-term normal while grieving the loss of our pre-virus lives. As of yesterday, families with school-aged children found out that the schools will not be reopening. High school and college students won't get this opportunity to walk down the aisle to receive their diplomas. Many of you are unable to work, and you can't work from home, so you have such financial pressures right now. And the list goes on and on and on. And the truth is, none of us really know how we feel. We may be uncomfortable talking about our feelings and don't want to say it out loud. We may think that having negative feelings makes us weak or less of a Christian. But I want you to know that naming our feelings doesn't give it power. When we name the emotion, it gives us power. Let me say that again. Naming it doesn't give that negative thought any power at all. But if you don't share it honestly, it can harm you. Emotions can only take us down when we are unaware and they keep us broken. When we understand them and name them, then we can walk through them. Many of us know others that have it much worse than we do. So sometimes we feel it's inappropriate to talk about our struggles. But it's really not, because when we are able to discuss and talk with others about what we're feeling, that really does give us strength. We don't have to withhold our fears to be able to be empathetic with others. I read recently about one family who developed a plan for how to handle being cooped up for so long. They do a feelings check-in, so one time a day they'll just ask each person, whether it's just a small child or it's a grandmother or a grandfather, they'll just ask them to name what they're feeling. And by doing that, we really are teaching our children to be able to be okay with their emotions. And it just lets everybody know where everybody is at. Things are going to get rough when you're having to stay home because we get irritable and we get frustrated. But just continue to know that the most important thing is to love each other and to communicate that. I read another source that said that they actually had rules during times like this. And number one rule was not to use any not nice words. And I think that kind of speaks for itself. But their second rule I really liked. It said don't make faces that look like not nice faces. And we've all known how to do that too. We need to say we're sorry when we make mistakes or say inappropriate things. But we also need to learn to accept apologies and just to say thank you instead of having to be uncomfortable with it. We probably need to work harder at more puns and more knock-knock jokes because laughter is so important to keep us close as families. So the last thing that I want to talk to you about today is how to cope with isolation. We're physically removed, but we don't have to be out of touch. Some of you have more than enough people around you during this time, but there's others that are listening today that are all alone. And this isolation can be very damaging because it can cause more anxiety and depression. So I encourage you to reach out. And I know when we're not feeling good and we're down, we don't reach out well. But I have got to encourage you to reach out. Pick up your phone. Do FaceTime. Do Skype. Do whatever you do on an Android phone, just so that you can touch base with someone. Fear is not sin. I hope you heard that. It's okay. Fear is a common emotion. It's important to keep your fear current, though, in what's going on right now. Because if you allow it to, your fear will take over and it'll just create some of the worst case scenarios for you and your loved ones. Tell yourself that you're okay right now. And that's what you have to focus on. And do all you can to keep yourself and your family safe. Constant worrying about the future won't change the future at all. If you begin thinking about suicide, call your doctor. Call a friend. Call me. Danger signs are beginning to feel hopeless. Dwelling on believing that you would be better off dead, or thinking about a plan to actually end your life. Do not ignore these thoughts. You must seek help because there's people there that want to help. We all feel out of control, and we are. But John 16:33 says, I've told you these things so that in me you will have peace. In the world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. Thanks for listening today. Please know that I'm here, and if you want to talk, you can just call the church, and they'll connect us together, and we will get through this together. Know that Radiant cares.